Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in and welcome to another Fidget video. It's been a while since my last upload, and the reason is because I've been gone in China. Been visiting relatives and just a vacation with my wife, and I took the chance and had some family members order a bunch of fidgets there for me to take home because on the one hand they're much cheaper there, at least the Chinese makers, and on the other hand they also have some stuff that you can't find here like that easily. And yeah, in this video, I'm gonna just be showing off what I got. I'll try to be quick because I got too much as usual. So I won't go too much in depth on the pieces. I will put the video chapters if you're just interested to see a certain fidget. Also, I will probably make mistakes or not remember or misremember some names or studios, so I will blend in the proper names, and I will also blend in the costs in renminbi, which is the Chinese currency, and the how much it would be in US dollars and euros, and also I will find the price that we pay abroad, just to have a comparison. And I haven't seen anyone compare prices like that. So yeah, starting off, I will just start, I guess. It's the Sound Emperor by ZD EDC in Crystal Tie. It's super nice, as you can see. It's got a little blue gradient going on here. And it's a tuning fork slider. It's got quite quite a strong magnet setup. It's just stock right now. But I really like it. You can modify it, like you can take out the tuning forks, or you can have like different lengths. So I kind of have two different setups on the two plates, so it kind of has a so it kind of has a chord going on. But yeah, ZD EDC, Sound Emperor, good stuff. Next up, it's the Crystal Slider Jingshi 1.5 by Proxy EDC. It's you can set it up for like a 8x8 or for as a normal 3-click or a normal 2-click. I've got it as a hybrid, so I've got 6 magnets here and 8 here, because I've started to like sort of try out the fancy play. Still kind of a noob to it, but it's a fun new way of sliding, and I really like this move here. Whoops. It's the show-off effect. And it slides super smooth. And what's new in the 1.5 is you can see the plates here have like this circular thing going on, which I guess maybe it helps with the rotation, but I couldn't say. It's quite quiet. Yeah, by the way, this is the stonewashed tie, I think. Yeah, stonewashed tie. I considered getting a Zirc as well, but it's just too much because I already got enough fidgets anyway. So I hope to improve in this style of sliding. Yeah, I really like this move. Really nice slider. Next up, kind of related, it's the breakthrough in PEI by YC EDC. So same reason, I've heard a lot about it, and I just got these to use as my sliders for fancy play. And as you can see, I'm still very much in need of practice. But yeah, it's a nice slider. The PEI is polished, and I would like to try out the Thai version if I can find it. Yeah, the breakthrough in PEI. I'll put those up here. What's next? Let's do this one. So this is the Tango Tart by Tango EDC. It's a hand spinner, or I don't know what you call this type of fidget. And it's magnetic, so as you can see, when it stops, it kind of bounces. It has this kind of thing here, so I guess you can use it as a spin the bottle type of thing at parties. I don't know. But yeah, it kind of functions. I mean, it's a weird comparison, but I kind of compare it in my head to the mechanic ring, because it also works like with magnets. And when you've got it like tied on, it gives you that vibration. And yeah, that's the nice thing about it, about the Tango Tart, that you can like kind of, while you're holding it, you get a really nice vibrating feedback, and it's pretty much silent depending on how you set it up. But yeah, I'll definitely do a more in-depth review of this one, as I think it's quite an interesting fidget. There's also like an alternative top plate which makes it mechanical, but the one I bought only came with this one, and yeah, I think the magnetic one is more interesting anyway. I like those who hold it like that. And I've got it kind of set up in a stronger way right now. I'll show off in a video how to change it up. So Tango Tart. Next up, the TopB in titanium by Metal Toyz DZ. So I finally jumped on the Metal Toyz wagon, and I'm hooked, I must say. I already have a brass TopB coming soon, and I've also got some alternative plates on the way. So yeah, at first even though I knew it's like quite a short sliding distance, I still was a bit surprised by how short it is, but I think it's kind of what makes it special. And yeah, I love it, to be honest. Really detailed, the texture of these TopB rain. I forgot to mention it's the TopB rain. And the texture here is really nice. I've tried to see if the raindrops here correspond to the circles here, but I don't think so. Yeah, since we're just started with mechanicals, and I just thought to show off where is it? So I also got this really nice mechanical parts pack, so like all kinds of balls and materials. There's even brass beads, different sizes and different springs, some special ones like this gold-plated piano steel spring, and it's just organized really nicely in these boxes. As a tinkerer, this was a really good purchase. I believe you can get something similar on Big White EDC. I'll try to link everything possible in the description. So yeah, good stuff. So next up, it's the ZacLab mechanical slider. I don't know if it has I think it's plane or something, like this paper plane here. Yeah, dream boldly. I agree. There's a little sunflower here, and I got the polished version. There's also a frosted version, but I've already got this PI slider in like frosted, so I wanted the polished. And I gotta say, it's really nice. It's super smooth. It's like super smooth. This is not the stock. I made it like a little bit stronger than the stock setting because that was too light for me. But yeah, it's just really smooth. You can attach a lanyard. And there's this clown nose here, so when you're sliding, you can use it kind of as a grip. And what I really love about it is actually this nifty design where if you want to open it up, you actually take out this screw, then the crown will fall out. And you see here, there's a hole, so you can actually then slide it down. And through this hole, you can take out this screw. So it's just a cool little design, I think. And it's really nice. I had kind of not given up, but lost interest in PI mechanicals because I think I just prefer heavier fidgets in general. But yeah, it's also kind of cheap. So really glad I got this. I'm not gonna put a lanyard on it because this one actually works quite well without a lanyard. Yeah, just super smooth and clicky. It's the ZacLab slider PI. Next up, it's the popping by Wanwu. It's quite an interesting one. It's a mechanical magnetic hybrid, and I got the mother of pearl extra like button on top, and I got the Teflon middle plate, which both are not available yet outside of China. And I definitely liked it more with the Teflon plate. And yeah, how it works is basically it's like mechanical, but then it's like back and forth. It's like this magnetic part here that goes back and forth. If you hold it down, it's actually silent. I mean, as opposed to because you see it's a tuning fork here, so if you kind of let loose, you get the tuning fork effect. But if you don't want to scare I don't know, any babies around, then you can hold it down. Also, you can actually turn around this plate to make it like a different mode in which like the magnet sort of bounces off from the sides, which I will show off in a in-depth review video. But I prefer it in this setup. I did have to make the springs and balls a bit stronger as the stock was too weak, in my opinion. But now I quite like it. I might still tinker with it a bit. I think it's definitely a nice once in a while fidget. It's the popping. So next up, it's HAOTZ EDC mechanical slider. Yeah, this one's kind of like elongated. It's like I see it kind of like a big brother to the Lautie Choc. It's stainless steel, and I got it in this nice limited edition finish. They call it like wasteland finish, like sort of it's number 48 out of 99, and this one is actually really nice. I didn't like it in the stock setup, so I put in like weaker springs and I think palm balls, but I will also make a more in-depth video on the HAOTZ stuff that I got, but it's definitely nice. Yeah, HAOTZ EDC mechanical slider. Then Deja Vu, it's the same thing basically, but 3D printed. But I haven't tinkered with it much. I was just interested how it's like built. I still need to find the right setup for it, because at the moment I don't like this one that much. But yeah, I am of the opinion that most fidgets you can mod it in some way that it can bring you some kind of joy. But this one right now feels a bit rough and a bit, I don't know, cheap, if you could say. It's a bit like loose here, so I have to tinker with it. It's the HAOTZ EDC 3D printed mechanical. Another HAOTZ. It's a tracked magnetic slider. There's a... Whoa. Okay, I lost one. I'll find it later. So there's nylon balls in here. And it's actually quite nice. Yeah. Next up, it's a free floating slider from HAOTZ EDC, 3D printed. Came with the Teflon plate. I didn't put that on, but it's like nice, crunchy, and I really like it. I don't own one, so I can't like directly compare, but the size reminds me of the ice cream sandwich from the Fidget Syndicate. I haven't opened it up yet, but I will do so in the future. But for now, I actually quite like it. Also, kind of just as a fidget for when I'm scared to drop something with this thing. It's like, even if I drop it, I'm not going to be too concerned. The magnet balance is quite nice. Whoops. Yeah, definitely one that I will be using. Next up, still in the HAOTZ fidget, it's a triangle free float slider, which is quite interesting. I haven't played with it too much, but basically you can like do this. You can sort of like go up and then snap it, or like open it and snap it like that. So it's the first triangle shaped free floating slider that I've seen, as far as I know. And I think it's definitely a shape that could be explored more. I do miss the freestyle potential of the 3-click, but it's actually nice. And now for the last HAOTZ fidget, it's a spinner. To be honest, it's kind of boring, but I just wanted to try it out. I'll try to take it apart. You can't twist it open, so I will see if I can sort of pry off the buttons. Yeah, just a small little spinner. So that's it for the HAOTZ stuff. I do have one more coming next week. But yeah. Next up, I believe it's Gao Studio, but I'm not entirely sure. It's actually a tracked magnetic. You can put like metal rods here, and the magnets are balls. And this one is actually quite nice. I just removed it to use it sort of as a free-floating slider. This one is called the Razor, as you can guess by their shape. And the black part is definitely 3D printed, but the gray part, I'm not entirely sure. It has a kind of like a granite feeling, to it. But it feels nice, and it's has a nice snappiness. And it actually works pretty well as a free floater as well. Whoops. Yeah, Razor. Now, same producer. I don't know the name of this one, but it's a track magnetic. It's a bit bouncier, and it has a kind of weird design here where only one side has the magnets revealed and the other it's like covered. So you kind of put them this way, and this is a metal rod. You can put a shorter one or a longer one to change it into 3 clicks or 1 click per side. I haven't played with this one too much, but I definitely prefer this one out of the two, because this one, the bigger one, you also can't use that well as a free floater because it's just a bit weird. But definitely some interesting designs. Okay, next up, let's do this one. It's the Rifle 5 by Gao Studio. I got the serial number 77, and yeah, it's like basically this. It's PC and stainless steel. It came with this ugly lanyard. I'm gonna change it into something more badass looking, but you can like get stuck, then you can like go down, and then there's 2 magnetic steps. The clicks, those are not made with springs and balls, but with like a tooth thing. So you can't change the strength with like different balls or springs, but I will still try to make it a bit stronger somehow, because right now it's just those clicks are too weak for me and like not so satisfying. Also, I wish the magnets were a bit stronger. I mean, it's like a cheap fidget. I think it can be nice to see if you like this type of fidget. And I do like it, so it's now got me interested into the, what's it called, from Proxy EDC, the Cyborg Soul, is it that one? The one that's basically this, but better, like, yeah, Gao Studios Rifle 5. Next up, this is by, I think they're called G's, like Geez, or Geek or G's, forgot, but it's a Knuckleroller / spinner in stainless steel. I don't know the name of this fidget. I'll try to find out somehow. It's got like 2 balls here, and to be honest, as a Knuckleroller, it's not that nice. I tape it here because this part it's like too sharp for the fingers, but the spinning is actually quite nice. So yeah, this one is not available here as far as I know. Maybe I'll find it on AliExpress, but I believe it's sold out anyway, at least in China. So yeah, the shape is a bit awkward for knuckle bone spinning, rolling. Next up, it's a 9-hand square slider, spin 2-in-1, like spinner slider. I just wanted to try it out, how it feels to have a spinner and slider in one. The spinning is wobbly, but it's actually not bad apart from that. But I'm not the biggest fan of, I don't know, maybe square sliders just aren't for me. I just don't find that many moves that you can make with it. Whoops. So yeah, maybe I'll give it another chance in the future, but yeah, this is my first square slider, and yeah, the plates slide well. The design is kind of stolen from the Wrapped, I guess, but it's square and it's a spinner, so it's not a one-to-one. So yeah. Next up, this is a big one. It's the Zirc Demoman by Muyi Nayici. Yeah, I'm sure many of you have seen this one around in PEI, Thai, and Zirc. It's kind of a crazy one. It's a multi-fidget, so you can do like, I mean, you don't really use this as a fidgeting, but you can go up and down here. Then when you unlock this part, you can open that up. So when you lock it in this way, you kind of have a nice grip here of holding it. And this part is a spinner. This part is like mechanical, sort of like a safe. And here is another mechanical. This one is quite satisfying. And in this position, if you go all the way down, this thing goes in here and the spinner becomes a mechanical as well. Although this one isn't so satisfying because it's too weak for me. So yeah, and yeah, still kind of have to get used to it. The Zirc is too heavy for a lot of people, but I actually find it okay. As I said, I like heavy fidgets, and this is not super heavy, I would say. Funny thing, to bring this across the continents in the plane, I actually took this apart completely, just because, you know, it looks like a grenade, and I don't think they would let me on a plane with that. So yeah, and it looks complicated, but it's actually simpler than you would think to take it apart. And I will definitely make a full disassembly video. And I've actually got a ceramic bearing on the way, so I can change this one to a ceramic bearing just to have a nicer spin with more feedback. Whoops. But yeah, Demoman. It's definitely nice. So now to the spinners. I got a bunch of tries which I will show off. First off here, it's I believe called Broken Rain by Novo Studios in stainless steel, and it's quite nice. I like spinners with some weight to it, and this one definitely delivers. I put spacers in the buttons because it was a bit too low for me. And I've got like a outer white ceramic and white ceramic bearing with silica dark ceramic beads, and it spins really nicely. Very smooth, and some nice feedback when turning. Yeah, Broken Rain by Novo Studio. Next up, it's the Casual in Zirc by NewBee. And the buttons, it's actually this also from the Casual, but I got one in Mokume. And I've got right now, I think it's the Reptilian bearing. And I like it. It's very comfy to spin, and it has a really nice weight to it, because as you can see, it's a thick one here. So even in Zirc, it's weighty. It's also nice with ceramic bearings. I think it's a really nice shape. Next up, I've actually got the Zirc buttons of the NewBee on here. But this is the Moonlight by FeiFei EDC in Tungsten. It's a hefty one. I'm still on the search for the right bearing and button combo. But yeah, it was a gift from my wife, birthday gift. I just asked her to get me a fidget. And I wanted to try Tungsten on a tri-spinner. Yeah, it's the Moonlight in Tungsten. So, next up, this is actually not a new spinner. It was actually one of my first spinners. It's the Moonlight in stainless steel, but the button is new. It's my first PI button, and I love it. I don't know what, I mean, it doesn't really have a name. I just got it from a store that sold this button, and it's really nice actually. I was actually planning on selling the Moonlight, but I kind of found this combo with this bearing here, And these PEI buttons that made it a keeper. It's quite loud, but most of all, it gives a really nice vibrating feedback when rotating it. Yeah, I'm kind of new still to spinners, and I was wondering why people liked PEI so much, but now I get it. I might have to. Really nice. Same thing here. This is not a new spinner of mine. It's the Mind's Eye by T-Max. But it's the same button, but in titanium. And it's also really nice. Same thing here. I was planning on selling the spinner, but now I will probably keep it. Because this is actually quite nice. Yeah, as you can see, I like to rip it hard. Now I kind of wish I got these buttons in the different materials as well. Alright, next up, almost done here. It's the Noiz Nano by Lautie. The stick isn't new, but I basically wanted to get this to have it for this spin stick. Yeah, I don't know, not much to say about it, just that it's nice. I think it pairs perfectly with the spin stick. Alright, and this is the last thing, if you could even call it a fidget, but it's a titanium pen with a spinner on top. So yeah, writes pretty well, I think. And yeah, this is basically it. I think that's more than enough. I will have to sell some fidgets now just to recoup some money. But yeah, my fidget haul from China. I hope you liked this video. Thanks for watching if you watched this far. Yeah, have a good one and happy fidgeting.